because we have all
Okay,
of our
we're
like,
live.
old...
Hey friends, it's me, Cynthia, and Azalea's here too. She's in the background. We're in the studio. We've been working on it. Hello! We are here. We made it. And that was good for me because you know what? I was organizing the house. Again, you'd think, hey, how much stuff do you have? Well, the answer is a lot. I have a lot of stuff. That's the if you were wondering how come I'm still organizing. Because some of the stuff I haven't organized in like a decade or more. Oh, hello, Karen. She says, hi, Cynthia and Azalea. Hello, friends. I thought we would string and do some stringing in here. I did some with Sam's beads. You guys know Rachel. We did that on Friday, and that was fun. I made this bracelet right here. I was supposed to take pictures. Listen, I got the lights there. It's like a bead show in here. You wouldn't even believe how much light is in here right now. Hello, Carla, Jeanette. Hello, Julie. All our friends. Yes. This is what I made on Friday with Rachel. And that's pretty fun because the whole thing of that is you get a pack of beads and then I open it and then I make something. And that's what you do. It's fun. And we have an hour. And she's pretty strict with it. She's like, be done in an hour. No going over. I'm like, okay, we're going to keep it right to it. Hello, Susan, Lauren. Thank you all for joining us this evening. And it's not dark out. Isn't that cool? The daylight savings kind of threw me for a loop a little bit because I kept looking at the oven and the oven was not changed. And I was like, what?
You want to give everybody a sneak peek real fast?
Oh, Azalea, we got these sapphires. Our buddy Raj, he came through. Look at this. Look at that juice. So good. So good. Delicioso. All right. I am going to, let's see. Oh, there's more. Thank you, Karen. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Jean. Thank y'all for joining us. So I have some clasps. I have some different beads that I'm going to spread out all over this board, and I'm going to make something. I just thought, hey, you know what? We did it with Rachel, and it was fun. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just did it. You know, sometimes that's the best way is you don't know what you're going to do. You just find out as you're making it.
That's a good. Sometimes some of the best stuff you make
sometimes it is. And I will say that is exactly how when you go to a bead show, you have new stuff, it's in your pocket, you're like, okay, I don't have a sample for this. What do I have in my bag? And then you find out, like it's like a creative, it's a creative explosion because your brain is like, okay, I have 30 minutes before the show doors open and I have to make something that everybody will like and it really showcases what this piece is about. And sometimes that happens where you get it and it looks good, and then sometimes maybe you just string things in exactly a pattern and it's symmetrical and it doesn't look that great. So most of the time you get some really interesting things happening, but you know, you never know. All right, I'm gonna flip this camera around and we are gonna see some things. You probably noticed that we hung up some art before we were going live today, and that was pretty cool because sometimes there's the studio. Look at all that fabric the kids organized. As always, busy. All right, I'm setting this up. I think I'm going to jack this up a little bit higher. Okay, so here's some of the things. I'm going to aim that light so it can be seen a little bit better. Oh, Donna, hello. You know what? I was organizing my beads, Donna, and I don't know what I did with those beads that I got from you, and they are so beautiful. So beautiful. I want to show them off. I should have gotten them out. I had plans for those. I'm going to make treasure necklaces. I got these beads from Donna, and they are beautiful. Hey, Azalea, can you grab these for me, please? Okay, so I think I'll do something with this. This is my new ring, and it has, I call it the lunar ring. It has, I put in a couple weeks ago, we did a live, and I did a patina. It's kind of like a watercolory patina with the vintage, and here it is plain. So I thought, just now when I saw this, I glanced and I said, what am I going to do? I am going to make something with this because I really like working with these rounds. I'm going to grab something sticky. I put down, do you ever have that stuff that you stick onto a that's like that putty that you're supposed to use to keep things from falling down? Well, I put some of that putty and now I can't remove my tray. It has adhered to that. All right, I'm gonna use this instead now. I was hoping I had something fuzzy to use. But when I tell you this stuff, I've been unearthing things in my studio, you would have to just believe me that there's a lot in here. I'm gonna jack this up a little higher. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. My book, fantastic. You know what? I would really like to do another book someday. What am I doing putting that up there? I don't need that. All right, so one of the first things that you can do with one of these pieces like this, let me see if I have something in my pocket. You can use this for a link, so you can use it as a pendant. That's the same with this type of thing. I like using, this is the Ouroboros pewter ring. I think it can be a ring, like just for your finger, but it works best, I think. And I designed this for something that you could make a charm holder. And the fun about a charm holder is that there's a lot of potential with changing out your design. So I'm going to show you how that works. These are great for making different, adding lengths. So I have a little bit of chain. Sometimes you can cut that chain up and use pieces of it. It's one of my favorite techniques when making something like this. I'll oftentimes do a loop and put that through. And it's almost like, you know, you can pop in different colors, especially if you use different colors of seed beads. Oops. Oh, let's see what it is. Oh, Kathy, I do need to label. We were talking about labeling some of the stuff, although that makes it a little slower because when we're counting out all the beads, although I guess it wouldn't be too much more, but it would just be a little bit slower if you didn't mind waiting. So Azalea pulled out this kit that hadn't sold, and so I'm going to use this since it's right here. We're going to put my money where my mouth is and talk about what you do when you're using a limited palette. This was the turkey tail kit, all that beautiful, all that color in there. And I spray painted that. Isn't that pretty? I had so much fun painting these. I need to do another round.
I kept a couple of the empty ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put this, need something that does not roll.
You need something for me?
Yeah, maybe some wire. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of soft flex. And I'm going to start by making some loops. All right, so let's see. This one, you know what? This had a kink in it. What is this? This is not what I was looking for. Oh, this is Beetle-On. You know, I want to use soft flex. I know that people say that there's no difference, but you know, sometimes you just have your preference. I have a preference, and my preference is soft flex because it doesn't, if you have a kink, it doesn't seem to be like, I just pulled that and it made that bend in the wire, and it's fine. It's not like it's ruined, but I tend to like, I think the main difference between soft flex is it's a little more supple. So what I'm looking for now is, I just pulled it out. Here's some seed beads. I'm going to make a seed bead loop. All right. Actually, I'm going to pour a little bit more of those in there. You know what? I get these little dishes from the Oriental store, and they have pandan, which is a type of a leaf. It kind of tastes like basil to me. And they make this thing called a pandan pudding. And it comes in these little containers. They're ceramic, and you just steam them. So I'm going to string about, I don't know, maybe like, what is that, 2 inches? I'm going to show you that there's a fast way to do it. I used to have one of those. I'm going to put one of those on the end. I got that from Kate. She has these on beadshop.com, and these are good, these clips. So I'm just going to close off one side, and I'm going to move fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cord as my needle, and I'm just going to go in after it. Now they have this thing that spins. You know, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but those spinning things, I have not. I feel like it's almost faster to do this. It feels faster. Now, my favorite thing to do with this is I love, love, love little metal Charlottes. And I had a strand of them somewhere on this desk, and I didn't want to stand here and hunt for them. So I found these glass ones. They're kind of a matte finish seed bead. And I think the size, you know, I'm not a seed beater. Hazel, what size is that? Do you know what size that is?
There's no tag on
No, there's no tag. I don't know where I got them. I probably got them from Betsy. You all know Betsy. What's her business called?
Live with her.
Oh, yeah. Next time she's in Asheville, I'll ask her if she wants to do another one. She does this thing with cocktails, like a cocktail hour. And we made this drink. I don't drink very often, like at all. Well, I stopped drinking alcohol because one of my teeth. So I do this thing. It's like kind of embarrassing. I do this thing where I get cuteness aggression. I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes when I look at Marty, my jaw clenches. And it's almost, I don't mean to do it. But to say that I clenched my jaw so hard I broke a tooth is not an exaggeration, because that's basically what happened. And my dentist was teasing me about it. I was like, well, have you seen my cat? And he's like, no. And so I showed him pictures of my cat. And Marty's super cute, as you all... Oh! I just pulled all of those out because I was hanging on to this. I almost should have used tape. I was busy thinking about Marty. So I'm going to try that again. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm going to put that thing back on there. Stay, you. Okay, we're back.
We're so back.
I know. We never left, except that all of my bead just sprayed into my bowl here. I had like an inch already racked up. I was busy telling what happened. I broke a tooth. They had to pull my tooth because it broke all the way down into my jawbone. And then they put this to get an implant, to get a new tooth. I don't know if y'all know this, but you can't just plug that in to your mouth without anything in there. So they put this, I called it zombie DNA, but I don't know what actually it is. They said, oh, it comes from cadavers. And I was like, are y'all for real that you put that? And it basically regrows your jawbone. So it's that plug that was where the tooth was filled up with that. But anyway, my dentist was like, well, we can get you headgear so that you can just wear this helmet around the house. So if you do see your cat, you can be prepared, and you don't have to live like that. And I was like, okay, maybe we could just remove all of my teeth then. I was teasing. I would never do that because that would look... How could I eat popcorn? That would be the real question right there. So anyway, I don't even know why I was telling that story.
I don't remember, but you had a reason.
I did have a
You were
reason.
talking about Betsy and drinking alcohol.
Oh, okay. So anyway, when you get that weird zombie DNA to fill up the plug of the socket of where your tooth was, you can't have any alcohol because that could inhibit the growth of that bone. So I just got out of the habit because you're not supposed to drink for like a month. And so I didn't. I'm sure y'all know a faster way to do this because these things are like popping all over. All right, well, that's enough. I mean, really, how long does this thing need to be? That's the real question. It doesn't need to be that long. All right, so when you're doing this, you can choose your own adventure. Sometimes I will do different beads, or even better is if you have those really small gemstone beads going around, that stuff looks good. Now, here's the other thing. When you're doing this, you kind of have to make decisions early on. Are you going to do a bunch of these, or are you going to do a few? And really, when I say you have to make decisions, I guess the decisions you have to make are just how many of these do I want to put on? And if you don't like it, you know, one of the things that I used to do is I'd put come out you. All right, here we go. A lobster claw at the end of this. And that might sound weird, but if you have a really small lobster claw, you could make this like a teeny little necklace and you can change them out. So if you have that kind of energy, you can do that. I've done a few, and I did some that were kind of precious to me. Some of these beads that I have, I did not want them. Oh, so here's a mistake. I almost made this. See, while I was talking, I almost closed this loop up. How silly would that be?
Oh, I hate when I do that.
I do that all the time. So instead, I caught myself. I'm going to put that through there. And I'm going to aim that right through. And I have a crimp. That's what that is. And I'm just going to pull that top. There's a lot of extra. That's partially because I was just not feeling like stringing a million beads. That's my problem with seed beads, is that I can do some tedious, tiny stuff, but for some reason, working on them kind of is a little difficult for me. So I tuck in 2 beads on the end of that, just so it keeps the circle from looking kind of jankety.
It's some powerful wind outside.
Oh yeah, we've got some really crazy wind happening. Now, you could put any number of pendants, like little teeny pendants if you have them. This is a good place to put your charms if you're going to make a little charm necklace. Okay. All right, see, that made a little perfect little thing there. And I'm just going to smash that flat. You can barrel that. I call it making it into a little barrel. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I just flattened it in that case and then trim off the extra.
That's funny, Carla. A friend my age said that's how she stayed warm this winter, from the hot flashes of alcohol.
That is cute. That's so cute. But look how this looks. Isn't that charming? Now, I could have very, very, very easily put a pendant down there, but I kind of like how this looks. And sometimes I will tell you, I will dingle dangle stuff from this, like chain. And I'll do the next one like that. But I want to find some of these beads and put that on there. Daughter, can you find me some? I would like to get some wire, because all I have over here is this other stuff here. I have everything. You guys, I've been organizing the heck out of my space. Oh, yeah. You know, oh, Donna says she doesn't cut the line. You know what? If I'm doing a bunch of this, then I won't. And that's a good idea, because I didn't really need to cut it just then. Maybe that's one of the many reasons you don't drink while pregnant. I don't know. Oh, that's what they say? I did not. When I had that stuff, it was right down here is all the wire. Right down here. Oh. Look at that. Tylenol. I just read a comment that said that. So I think for this, I'm going to add I like when things kind of echo. They call that, in comedy, they call that a callback. But in design, they call that, you know, using your design language or your visual vocabulary. Let's see, let's see. Azalea came presenting me like as if she were walking in with a tea box. That's what she came in here.
I know. I don't think I could be a butler or a housemaid. My elbows like from holding this out so elegantly.
Yeah, you did. You did a good job
Not
holding
even
it for me.
elegant. It's frumpy.
Yeah, I don't know if that would alcohol inhibits. I know that it inhibits that bone growth. So I'm assuming if you have like a baby, that would probably inhibit the growth too. So in this case, you have the shapes here are echoing. So we have this little thing here that's an echo of that. So now I can look through and I can either, I like that color with that. I like the size and color because it looks like it could fit in there, you know?
Oh, I like that. That matches good.
Maybe these. You know what would be good is head pins. I wonder if I have any head pins in here. I went through a phase of making a bunch. Oh, yay, head pins. I love head pins. I don't know why. Check these out. I forgot those were in there. What? Oh my. Look at these. I bought these from someone. I don't remember who made them. Those beautiful. What a surprise. That's what's been happening all day long, is me finding things in my studio. Like I open up a package and boom. Did I know that I was going to find beautiful handcrafted leaves on head pin wire? No, I didn't. Yes, I do love those. I have them in like every size you can imagine. I like these. One of the things I like when I get big hole beads, or not super big, is when the holes are nicely done. So happy because they fit. Oh, that might be Rita. That might be Rita. Jennifer's asking if there are any kits ready. I don't know. Oh, that is so pretty. That's this Mariposa stone. They call it that. So here's another little thing. This is another like mini callback. We're going to use that if we're going to use that kind of language. So sometimes I will add beads up to this point. You do that. Okay, so I'm going to bend that, get that ready. So you can add a few. Usually this works better if you can put that on a little bit longer head pin. And I could attach it to this thing. Let me see. I want another color. I don't want that same color. I think I want something in a blue. I had more seed beads than I know what to do with. I went through a phase of trying to practice that freeform peyote. And it was okay. It was fine. It took a long time, and I was okay with it. But I don't know if I finished it. I did some seed bead crochet with these beads. That was one of the things. Isn't that pretty? I don't know what this one is. Oh, if I have any of the beads from the turkey tail kit, I might. I don't know. Some of those, they're some of my favorites because there's some that I could not get my hands on anymore, you know? Okay, put some of these back. I don't know if I want to use any more of those, and we'll put some of these in. When they pop out, it reminds me of popcorn. Okay. I'm not real precious with these. If that's driving you crazy, then avert your eyes and not look at me waste all those beads. They're just popping. They're going all over the place. I'm like, oh, well. I'll just deal with that later. I'll be crunching those under my boot here in a minute. Well, I didn't mean to. Just what happens with those little seed beads. So I'm just going to put some of these on here to give it a little bit of a pop in color. I like to find a small bit, like there's a hint of green right there. So I chose these seed beads that there's some in here that have almost that same color. And what that does is it echoes some of your palette and gives you a more cohesive look in your finished design. That's one of my little tricks. So you don't need a lot of a color. And it was like the same thing with this bracelet. Like there are hints of in the Picasso of this red bracelet or of this these beads. There was a tiny pop of that cobalt blue, and so I was bringing it back throughout. So it's kind of like your line of color that runs through. It's a little trick that will make your pieces look that much more finished. Okay. All right, I don't want to do too many because this is a tricky thing here. I've messed up many of these. So I'm keeping this straight for right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently bend that so it can go around my ring. Okay. It's so quiet in the studio. I love it. The only thing you can hear right now is the wind outside.
I love it.
And you know what? I'm so happy right now. It's what time is it, Azalea?
7:30.
Oh yeah, and the sun hasn't gone down. Yay! Yeah, Marty does actually. He does SWAT things. So now I don't think this is enough, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to very gently, I've left about 2 millimeters to make the knot. And by knot, I mean, wire wrap. So I'm going to gently, that's the key here, is find something that's the diameter of this to wrap around. So what I usually do is I'll take a pen or something that's on my desk. Usually it's a pen or a piece of like a paintbrush. Here, I found a paintbrush. Paintbrushes are good because you have multi sides. See, you can, or when I say sides, I can use any part of this. It's small or large. All right, I'm gonna put that in there on this side actually, and I'm going to gently bend it. If you bend it too aggressively, you'll break your beads, so you don't want to do that. Hold your bead like this so it's not twirling, and then gently bead it, pull it around. This will show you if you need more beads or not. Okay, so some of them kind of slip down, but I can see that I need probably 2 more to fill that. So I'm going to add a couple more. And sometimes I will use contrasting beads here, and you can make a pattern. Like it looks like stripes. If you do like one white, one black, one red, or something like that, you can get a tiny bit of pattern that can be kind of festive. All right, so don't close that up quite yet. Before you close it, remember to put your ring through there. All right, so here's my ring. Now I can make a decision. I can add my ring to this. So you have this happening like that. See what I mean? So it's like almost like you're imitating that negative space within the ring. I could do that, or I'm going to try and do this without losing any of my beads. I could do this, and I can look at it and say, which do I like better? I feel like I like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, this I find kind of fiddly. This is a fiddly thing here because you have to hold the piece without, see how the beads are sliding around there? You have to hold it without dropping it, without losing any beads, because I think I lost a couple. No, actually I didn't. All right, so I'm going to need a tool. I'm going to hold on to this point here at the bead, like the nexus of that. And I can let that go, and I can wrap it. This can be kind of tricky, I will say. I don't love that part because I oftentimes have broken beads. All right, get in there, you. As soon as you start it, that's the hard part, is starting it. So I just had to guide that over. All right, now I can grab a hold of that other, the bending wire without smashing the bead. Obviously, you can use, if you are inclined, you can use tools to do that. You don't have to do what I'm doing with your fingers.
I know, I knew you were going to say that because everybody gives you a hard time.
Everybody gives me a hard time. They're like, you can use your tools. I'm like, okay, I can do it, I know. But sometimes it is not easy for me to do that. That's okay. Everybody's different.
What is that stone that's that big bead there?
That is a Mariposa stone, and it's a type of it's interesting because they're all a little bit different. It's a type of agate, and agates, you can usually tell agates from jaspers because an agate has translucency, whereas jaspers are usually opaque. All right, now if I wanted that, I could straighten that out by doing this. Just poke that brush in there and I can round it out a little better. But you got to be careful because if you're not careful, you can break your beads and you don't want that. So I'm being very gentle, kind of fixing the shape. All right, it won't lose its shape once it's in this unless you tug on it.
Looks really good.
So that's what I have so far. And one of the things that's fun about this is that when you're adding, you can either use leather, and we've been talking about Sundance catalog like crazy. Everybody's been talking about it. One of the reasons is because of the interesting juxtapositions of materials. That's what makes those so interesting, is that you'll have ribbon, you'll have cord, you'll have leather. And when you have those mixed materials, it's kind of interesting to the eye, you know, like you'll look at ancient jewelry and it'll be beadwork, it'll be wire wrapped, gold wire, and those textures are kind of there. It's just the same thing when you're looking at one strand of something as opposed to something. If there's a pop of orange or something else, your eye stops on that. All right, let's add another loop. Now, I think adding chain to this will be kind of interesting. So I'm going to look over here and see if I have a good chain. I have bags and bags of these little pieces of chain. Oh, I was looking for these. Yes. Oh, these little, that's small tourmaline crystals. I'm going to set that aside. I had a custom request. Someone had me hunting for those in Tucson.
Custom request?
A custom
request.
A request for... Okay, I had a little piece of chain. Oh, I could just use this. Right here waiting for me. All right. That. All right, so this little piece of chain. Now, I don't know if I like exactly this, if that is a good match for it. You know, I might want to have something in a brass chain. A brass would be pretty, you know, mixed metals. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, I think this looks good. At first, I thought maybe something else. Now, see, with this plain ring, I could have actually added one of those on there, but I'm going to do it on another one. Oh, Allison, the thing with teeth. Ugh. You know, sometimes I do that too. Teeth are not tools, folks. I know. I know, because I am all the time having teeth things. Teeth issues. All right, so I'm going to put this one on here. Now I have a choice. I can go in with soft flex, like this first ring. This is a good way to add... you can add... With this, it's a flexible ring. It's easy because you can crimp it. This is one made with a head pin, easy. So on this case, I can put wire, or I can just, let's see, maybe I'll do...
I like that chain you got. I thought it was a bunch of jump rings together at first.
I know, that came like that. That's a type of chain. So now we're going to talk about... So I have a lot of blues and greens happening here. There's a lot of that in this kit. This is the turkey tail kit. And so I can use my limited palette and find what would be the best color to make this potentially pop. And I feel like, you guys know I'm drawn to that pink and green. Look how pretty that would be down at the bottom. Now, one of the things when you add chain, the good part about adding chain is each one of these lengths is a possibility to put another briolette, a crystal, a pearl, it's just another opportunity. So what I'm going to do before is I'm going to attach this pink opal to the end of that before I add it. Now, sometimes I like to work in segments. Some folks will put that on and then they'll add to another. I like to work in segments where I can hold things up and then take it away if I don't like it. It just seems like it's a easier way to design. So with this, I could attach this chain to the bottom of this piece here. That's a possibility. Let's see. Do I like that? I don't know. But I like to test it. So I'm going to make a simple loop. Hopefully I don't close it before I attach it. So I'm going to put that on the end of this. And I know this is, some people can hold this and hold the tool and go all the way around. I'm impressed. Usually I can't do it. My fingers are strong enough, right? All right, that's called a coil wrap because I coiled it around itself. Now you can do a messy wrap, which is when you do it kind of like a bird's nest. You can do one wrap around. Some folks will even do where they have these special pliers that will just go once and then it cuts it. They're pretty awesome. And for things like earrings or something that's dangling, it doesn't have to have a really like a very super secure connection point, because it's not going to be like load bearing, it's not going to be something that's attaching. It's just dangling freely. All right, that looks pretty good. Now I can decide, hey, do I want to add that to this seed bead loop or to this? You know what I think I'll do? I'm going to make another seed bead loop, because even though it's maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think pink. I want to put a light pink for that. Now this is what I was talking about when you have an opportunity to pick up some of the elements. Now I can do more green, or I can pick up something that's in that soft pinkish color to kind of tie it in. Or even, I know, is it crazy? It's getting a little wild. We're going to put in, I think this purple works. It sits next to each other on the color wheel right here. I want to find I had a thing of color wheels all over and I put them up here and I don't see them. They are not at hand. So I can't show you that's on side by side, but I should. I'm going to pin one right to this board behind me. Oh, Azalea, you going to hunt for that? It's downstairs on the rack in that caddy along the back edge.
Oh, you know. Really?
I know exactly where it is. That's the
color wheel?
The color wheels. There's like 5 color wheels. They're all stacked up. They're small, about 6 inches across. And now we're going to do like how Donna said. Don't cut it, because you don't need to cut it. And this is why I don't love, I shouldn't say anything, but that's one of the things I don't like about Beadalon. But I had it at hand. That's why I like the Soft Flex. And I put all of it away into the tote, so I don't have it handy. So I'm going to put a seed bead or a crimp on first. So that's just done. Oh, Carla has the one step loopers. Now these seed beads here, they're kind of funny because they're not all like, they're not standard size. What gauge, Debbie? This is just 7. I usually use, I'm just going to go get some of the what I like. And there's nothing wrong with using different brands, because you know what? Everything's, you don't have to be the same with your materials. Oh, but look at this one. How perfect is that? Okay, I'm going to use that. It just doesn't kink. That's what I like. All right, so I'm going to pull out. This one is medium. I think it's also, oh, this is 49 strands. So the fun part about the colors is that if you don't fill up with seed beads, the cord shows, but it's okay. it looks good, I think. And sometimes I will deliberately leave off a few seed beads just so that I can have some of that cord showing. Oh, I have a crimp on there. There's a crimp. Oh, no, I don't. I'll put it on last. I'll put it last. So y'all have to watch me do that a second time. I thought I did.
I don't know if you wanted one of these, but you're getting all 4.
Ooh. Let's see it. Some of that kind of stuff fell down.
I'll get it.
I don't need a lot on this because I'm just attaching a piece of chain to the... This thing is too small. I can't see it. All right. That cup, that was silly trying to do that. Y'all, don't do like me and try to use the cup because that doesn't work. It's too tight. It turns out the palm of my hand is the best. Look how fast I did that.
Wow.
I know. Y'all be like, hey, you should have done that to begin with. Yeah, oh well. All right, where'd that crimp go? I am forever looking for crimps. Probably because they're in a bag that's clear and they're all silver inside. And then I double bagged them for some reason. All right, so add that crimp.
That's looking really good, Mom.
Thank you. All right.
It took me too long to get them color wheels, because now you're not even talking about that anymore.
Yeah, I should have added that first. We're going to cut it. We're just going to cut it. So, I really should have strung it first. Now we're going to see if I can do this where it's that short and not close it. That's the key, is closing this around what you actually intend to close. That's the key, if you can actually remember to do it. Because how many times have I closed these and then realized I had to do it over? All right, this is going to take me some concentration to get that little itty bitty piece to go. I hate it when I do that. But I didn't make it that, I didn't cut it too short. All right. Get in there, you. Squeeze. Okay, so if I leave it, I can leave a little bit, or I can have some showing. I will leave a little tiny bit showing. I like that color. But I'm just going to crimp that flat and trim it. I don't like it when the things are sharp, so I like to get in there tight. And if I can't, sometimes what I'll do, it's kind of, I think people think it's cheating. It might be cheating, is I'll sometimes glue this piece so it stays. I'll just do a tiny drop and I'll make that thing stick in there because I hate it when they slide back. All right. Okay, so that's what we have so far on that. Oh, hello, Wendy. All right, so these are the color wheels I was just talking about. This is the one that I've had for many, many, many years, and it's a standard color wheel. So what I was talking about of having things adjacent or across from, most color wheels are set in the Roy G. Biv standard red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and that's kind of like the indigo and a violet. That's the Roy G. Biv. So what they're talking about when they say a complementary is things that are opposites, you know. So what I was doing with this, if you spread it, let me see, this one will show it a little bit better. Oops. So this is a triad. So they have it written in like miniature on this. This came with a book. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was talking about. So Where is it? This will perfectly illustrate it. Isn't that cool? So with this piece in my hand, what we have here is a blue and a pink and a green. So we have almost this type of situation. It's probably more accurate to call it this. Or like that. Triad. So there's different ones that you can do. This one is the complementary. They're opposites. Opposite day. And that's almost opposites, but not quite. It's more like this. And to have one that's next to it would be including this. So it's these two. So let's see if I can find one that's exactly the one I'm doing. So there's that. Okay, let's try that one. That one might be cool. I could make these kind of color wheels and just play with them all day long because it's so fun. This came in a book. I think it was called something beading. It was a beading book. But I bought it just so I could get this. And I use these so I can get color ideas. But I tend to stay in the same family of colors. All right. So now you can see this is in a family where we have a little bit of these greens right here. That kind of, it's more of a sea foam like this. And the colors in here. So actually it'd be more like this because there's more of that. And you would get a little bit of that pinkish color. Yeah, when you have a color wheel, like doing one is pretty fun. If you can find one, I should just make one so that we can do it together. It's pretty easy. Actually, you know what? I did do one. I did one for Kate. I think you can download it over at beadshop.com. And I made it in a kind of a flower wheel. And you can color it with colored pencils or watercolor to get the same effect if you don't have one of these. Or you could print. I'm sure there's companies that can print it. But they are fun to play with. All right. So those are the different ways that you could use this. One thing, I don't know what time. Oh, I've already been doing this for 47 minutes. Okay, let's get to that live sale. What do you think, Azalea? Do you guys feel like you got a good way of using this? I wanted to finish that up, but I did a lot of talking in between, a lot of tedious little fiddling. Yeah, I think that looks good. I would put in, to finish this out, I think adding more beads to this and a sort of cascading waterfall effect would be fun. Oh, thank you, Kalite. Beaded colorways. That's exactly what it was. And yes, I also bought it just for those color wheels. It's a really good book. I did not do a lot of the projects in it, but it was really fun to look at them. So I'm going to get that color thing out and show you like how that works when you work with a color wheel. So that's a kind of a peachy color. We're going to hunt that. So we have purples, greens. You see how that can work? You have a little bit of this orangey pink. By adding a little bit more of this bluish green, you get a good harmonious. This is called, oh, they call it, this one says expanded complementary. And these are analogous when they're sitting next to. I can never remember the names. I always just thinking of them as like, you know, these guys, analogous, they're like, they're friends. They sit next to each other on the bus. And that's how that works. So I could keep going with this. If I brought in more pops of this pink to this area, that would be a really beautiful design choice. More green would work. See how that could go? Or this. This would be really pretty in there. And so I'm just making piles and seeing what it looks like so that I can say, hey, do I want to add more dangles? And the fun part about a ring is that you can keep going. You can pack this thing. You can go low too. I've made these where they're really long. And if you do add chain, it's a really fun way to add more color than you have with, like, if you don't want to use seed beads or whatever, or what have you. Because that can be kind of, this can be a bit much. If you're trying to go fast, that can be kind of tedious to do. So Anyway, I can use chain to finish this out. I can use ribbon. I did a class a couple years ago and we did cord and we just tied it on either side. You could do one conjunction at the top, one transitional piece. Maybe. It's kind of fun to just figure it out. Move things around on your board. Could do one transition where it comes up to this. I use this as a class, but it could be kind of interesting to actually make this. I think that's too small. Sometimes you could do that, like maybe the thing is up here. And these beads are coming in through this side. Maybe a gradation. I don't know. There's a lot of potential, though. There's a lot of fun. These are pretty simple. I've made several of this type of necklace. It looks good on your table if you sell at markets, and it's not terribly labor intensive. Okay. Oh, I don't know who this is. Facebook user. I have a color thing. I have a color wheel in my head. Color is my special talent. You know what? I love color too. I don't have it in my head, but you know what will make it into your head is if you look at plants and like gardening type situation, because I did not learn color properly. All right, I was gonna find another. Oh, hey, oh, look at this business. I forgot that I had this. Look at this tray. I told Azalea today when we were putting up all the artwork. Oh, there are cords in here. Max was ransacking the house looking for cords. It might be one of these. This table, I got it at Hobby Lobby. Look, it's a jacked up table. Isn't that cool? I told Azalea, I said, this is one of my most prized possessions. This is an actual snail shell from Thailand. I got this at a show. Oh, I keep keeping the comments on there. Oh, Nancy. Look at that. That's a land snail, and it's not colored. That's real. Isn't that beautiful? I got it at a shell show. I don't know how long ago, but it is so perfect and beautiful. I told her, I said, I would die if I saw that. Like, can you imagine a snail just cruising along? I'm like, of course, that would have to be in Thailand. All right. Azalea, let's do this. It's time. It's time. Lovely little daughter. Moving stuff out of the way. All those. Maybe I make some earrings with those delightful. Making space. Okay, are we ready, little daughter?
Yeah, there's the box.
Oh, okay. What are we going to start with?
Anyway, just keep the showstopper for the showstopper.
Hmm.
Do you need help? Here.
Oh, I didn't know I had any of these. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you got two of them here. You can.
Okay, fairy snail. It is. It's so enchanting. Very enchanting. All right. So our first thing, I am surprised to see these. I think I kept some of them. That's why there's some of them here. All right. These pieces. Oh, Jennifer says, how does the live sale work? Okay, thank you for asking. So what happens is this. So we're on StreamYard right now. That means we're streaming to like 3 or 4 locations. That means YouTube, our Facebook group, and was there another place? GBE?
YouTube and Facebook. Just YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, why didn't we do GBE?
That is Facebook.
Oh, we didn't do it for our own Facebook?
We have it on our Facebook page and the GBE page. We're at 3 locations right now.
Oh, okay. So what that means is that you might not see all the comments on this side. I can see all the comments. So if you want something, for example, this is lot 724. What you do is you write it in the comments. If you are watching this not live and on replay, and you can tell if it's live, if it has a live right here on the top and it says it's, the number, right? Like right now it says live 5440. Then you can just comment. If you were not live and you're watching the replay, send me an email. And we can send you, if we have any. I have very limited stock. I don't have a super deep inventory of anything except for maybe my pewter beads. And even then, that's not a super deep stock of that. So these are aquamarine. They are a very beautiful cut. I'm trying to get in there tight so you can see it.
If you comment it and we've got it, we'll pick the first people.
The first folks.
And then I will send you an email invoice if I have your email.
Right. So you will get a Shopify invoice and you can pay that however you like. And then we'll send it to you. And the good thing about the Shopify invoice is that it has tracking attached to it. We are going to get another app that will, when you comment, it'll just add it. Like it'll do it on its own. Like the fastest comment will get it so that we don't have to do it. But we have not attached that app yet. So this is $38. These are hand carved aquamarines. They are juicy. So juicy. I've never seen this cut. They're almost like little igloos. And I have 2 of this. Where did I get my color wheel? There's a, let me see, Colite, I believe she had it. She had the information. And unless you're talking about this one, you can get this at Cheap Joe's art supply store. This is a really good one. It has all of these guys. These go with this Beading Colorways book, I think it was called. And you can get that on anywhere they sell bead books. This is pretty standard. You can get the same thing. It's more compact, all the hues. And the only thing about this is that you kind of have to use your brain to, because see, it has these like,
you gotta use your brain.
You gotta, it's, you know what I mean? You gotta do this. It's like you just look at it, right? You don't have to compute anything. There's no computing. There you go. That's it. It just tells you. To me, this is less important. Like what they name that, split triad, split complementary, those things, that kind of information just seeps out of my brain. So this has it so it blocks everything off. Complementary, red and green. There's my favorite right here. Love that story.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
My flavor.
Yeah, this is fun though. This comes from that Beauty Colorways book, and that's well worth it. Okie dokie. Oh, I have some of these left.
Yeah, I'll set up on the tray what you should do next so you don't get confused.
Okay, so this is, I have 2 of these left. This is 7-Eleven. Look at this beautiful turquoise. Lovely. These are little, like, I don't know if they're kind of standard hishi. I don't think it's a hishi. Is that a hishi? Kind of a rondelle. Hishi is, yeah, I guess that would be. But I always think of them as not faceted. These are faceted, and they are gradated. So that means they're small to larger. All right. I had 2 of those. Okay. Oh.
I set it up. I set it up for you. That's what this is set here for.
That the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what it was at. See? We can split it if you want.
We'll see if anyone. Sometimes people want to buy the whole thing. All right. I have these beautiful. I believe that's tourmaline. There's 2 of these. Let's see. These are $8.98. Watermelon tourmaline. Pretty nice, pretty nice. These are a pretty good gauge. Like, the other thing I would like to point out when I'm picking beads, I pick those beads to have nice drilled holes. So when you look at them, look at this. This is a good example. I'll show it on this too. Is when you put them, you have a little bit of space. If you're bead shopping, look and see if they lay flush. That means the holes are going through. They're not going cockeyed where it's like the 3/4 of the way. So it's like a drop. You look to see, and if they're free flowing, that's a good sized hole. That's a tip if you're bead shopping. Don't get them if you can't move them along. If it's on a thread, then you're not going to be able to string it on anything. All right, I have 1 silver
little half bird, bird link. What is this?
Okay, so this is. Let's mark this one at. Where's my pen?
You need a pen?
I like a pen.
She want a pen.
Look at how fancy this is. I found this in my drawer yesterday. And I put in this beautiful, let's
Oh,
make
dang.
this. I know, you're going to love it. This has got the tiniest.
I think Steve got those for us.
Mm.
And then he got one for me and for you. But
Oh.
I used mine until it didn't work anymore.
Right, let's mark this one down. You just reload.
I think mine broke.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, it's a German pen. Okay, let's do this one at 28.
All right, 644 at 28. That's silver, isn't it?
It's silver.
What's he got on the front?
That's just silver.
Oh, was that one that you tried to do sapphire on?
Mm-hmm. And then it was the sapphire is inside his heart. There's a sapphire in there.
That's cute.
He has a sapphire heart, but it's sculpt. That's just silver now, in the place of it. So inside there. Actually, let's make it 20. Let's make that 20. 644.
Looks like Melanie got it.
Thank you, Melanie. All right, let's see this. Oh, this is a beautiful bronze. Was that Shibuichi? That's Shibu. All right, so Shibuichi, I was like, bronze? That's not bronze. So Shibuichi is an alloy used in ancient Japan to make the sword, you know, on a katana, that long, skinny sword, that thing that's like the
hilt?
Hilt. No, not the hilt, the handguard. The handguards were made out of Shibuichi, which is silver and copper. And the reason they did that is this is one tough metal. It is, with the addition of a little bit more copper in there, it becomes this sort of peach color in the high raised areas and a dark burgundy in the shadows. And you get that by flame heating the metal, and then you buff it while it's still warm. And you get those really pretty colors. That's the only way to get that color, by the way, is by heat and
it's a whole process.
It is a whole process. If you don't do it, it just looks like
That's
copper.
584.
584. Thank you for reading that. So this side, you can see she has a little face as a lady. And on this side...
little dryad.
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple places to string. You can put something there. You can put... There's holes all the way around the edge. All right. Thank you, friends. Now, I don't know if anyone's going to want this. We're going to see. Or we can split the strand. Azalea, do you see that message of Melanie? If you've never shopped with us before and we need your email, so you can either send it to me or you can send it to the Facebook account. Either one works. So this is a full strand of this material that is like smoky quartz, but this is more of a whiskey or cognac color. Kind of like sweet tea color almost. What is this? So this is a little bit pricey. It's lot 41. When we were doing full strands of it, it's $75. If no one picks this, we'll break it down so that it's a little more affordable. These are beautifully drilled. You could actually just wear it if you wanted. It has a silver clasp on it.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
But it is $75 for... It is, it's kind of like a whiskey quartz, what they call this, with this colorway. They call it a cognac quartz. It's just like with smoky quartz, but it's a very high graded color. These are really perfect. They're micro-faceted, and they have a great big hole through there, if I can stretch them to show.
And that's lot 41?
Mm-hmm. That's lot 41, if there's any takers on that. If not, then I can split that, and that can show up later. We high grade them and pick out any of the ones that if there's any flaws, but these all look perfect. Okay.
Give you some more stuff here. You can do these.
Oh yeah, this is really pretty. Oh, I did a price drop on that. $474.
Did you? Does it say? Oh yeah, I guess you did.
I could drop that again though, because I'm still sitting on them. All right, so this is pink sapphire, or maybe it's pink tourmaline. They look more.
Pink spinel.
Oh, pink spinel. That's right. Thank you for correcting me.
I love it.
I know. I did keep some of those myself. So let me show these a little closer, and I'm going to mark those because I already marked them again. But I'm going to mark it again because why not? I've been sitting on them, so might as well make space. So we'll do 42 on those. So this is pink spinel. I kept some of this for myself. I make finished jewelry, as y'all know. These are beautifully drilled, nicely done. They're micro-faceted. They are beautiful. Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say that to me, these are the quality that I would use for my crochet necklaces. Not to say that I would use like low quality on everything else, but on some of the crochet necklaces I make, especially if it's for like a wedding or whatever, I use double A grade and above for those. And those would definitely fit in a higher grade. Oh, so these are fun. I got these in Tucson a few years ago from a guy that was from Franklin, if you can believe it. And he found these and drilled them. Actually, when I say a few years ago, that's probably on 15 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I love them though.
They're crystals. These are not faceted. That's how they grow. And then they drilled them. Aren't those crazy? So I'm going to drop that price on those two. Let's just make it 30. Yeah, this is treasure necklace stuff. Lot 400. Karen, the crochet class. It's like right in. All I have to do is edit. I'm working on it. But there's a lot of. It's not just the crochet. I'm also showing how to do the yarn or the cord dyeing and how to drill. It's a full meal deal. That class was a full day when I was teaching it. So this is lot 400. I have 2. Look how pretty they are. If you could see them in the light, they have this red glint. These are natural garnets from Franklin, North Carolina.
I love them so hard.
I know. That's natural. That is not
faceted?
No, the guy told me that these are how they grow. So that was his way of selling it to me.
Wow, that's crazy. They're perfect size.
Hey, I found some. The last time we went to Emerald Village, I found a handful of them. I just never drilled them. Okay, here's another. This looks like a Shibuichi it has a design on that side, and I'm showing it because it's kind of metallic. It has like a burgundy metallic color. This is that little bird, or bunny, I should say. The little bunny in there. Carla treasure necklace, for sure. And I don't think they should not be treated. They sold that to me under the thing that was completely natural. So
they look natural.
It is natural. They're natural. They have that almost almondine kind of shimmer to them. So this is lot 473. It's $24. A little Shibuichi bunny, if you are interested. And 473. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming and supporting us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We so need to get a new car. It doesn't have to be, it has to be new to us. I'm not going to, go and buy it right off the lot, brand new.
Oh, hi, Mike.
New to me. Mike Sampson. That's our friend and neighbor. And listen, I have to tell you, Mike, we have missed y'all. It only took me 20 some years to get used to you. All right, I'm going to mark these ones down too. Let's do 45. These are some juicy opals. Look at that. These are not like junk quality at all. This is not B grade. If you can't tell, there's a lot of flash in there. They are juicy. 358. Thank you.
Is there only one of those?
There was only one.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right, I have. Let's see.
Oh, you need me to fix them up for you?
Oh, I have one silver unicorn. No, you have it written here that there's 2. I think there's
that was a different one. These are faceted. These are smooth. This is different.
No, I meant this.
Oh, no, there's only one. I guess I forgot to correct that one.
There's only one. Okay, I have this magical unicorn. Let's do 30 on that.
All right. These are the next ones you do.
Thank you. $624. Here's a sterling silver unicorn. I don't make this one very often. That tail can be problematic right in there. Sometimes that, it doesn't come out, you know? It just doesn't fill. So that one, it came out. And it came out perfectly. So it's a 3D, the whole thing, detailed. You can see even like the little hoofs. Hooves. Hoof.
He's just figuring out how to say that. All right, Wendy got that one. Wendy Romanoff. Thank you.
Oh, wow. These are in here. I was thinking maybe
Those are two separate lots.
Okay, because some of them are different. I found these. I'm going to mark them down. This is only ones. I found these a few years ago and I love them. They are ruby slices and they have a little bit of that star in the middle. Look at that one. So these are drilled fairly well. I put a couple of them on crochet. I think these look better on a crochet than a treasure necklace because they're a little bit lighter. This is, let's make those 40. 512. They are ruby slices. So the ruby grows in this sort of hexagon and they're long. I actually have some of these. I can show you. Where did I put them? So at one point, I don't know, I got kind of, this is talk about an impulse buy, but I bought these. These are sapphires. They're, I talk about impulse. Look at this. Isn't this so funny? So these are like sapphire ruby matrix, some of them. Look at this. I don't know why I picked this out, especially this. I should just have not even picked that. But that's the natural shape. This is like B grade right here, or even C. And they save them because they have a star at the top. So when you get these crystals, when you get a cabochon with a ruby, generally speaking, they cut that thing off and it's like a tooth. This part will go into making like beads that are opaque. If you were to finish this off, it looks kind of like this. And these were smoothed out to make the natural shape more pronounced. That's how they grow, some of them. And they just polished up the front. So these are sapphires, and that's what they do. So when you see something like this, you can see the grade. So this is like A grade, right? These guys would be like B because there's not a lot of translucency, and the translucency is where you're getting the value and the color. You want that color. These do have a star. So anyway, I bought that because it was like face massager. Talk about impulse. I was like, oh, I'll put an oil with it. It'll be a whole thing. And guess what? I got like 50 of them. That's one of my more silly moments.
Silly moment.
That's a silly moment right there. I mean, I used the one I carry in my pocket. Did we already sell this one? I've kind of lost my train of thought with this.
Get to the next one. The last one was 512, I believe.
Oh, thank you, Allison.
Did she get the next one?
It looked like she got 512 for those.
Karen Vasconcelos got 512. You need to show the next one.
Oh, I'll say. Okay. All right. So this one, let's mark this one to 42. I kept a bunch of these. I love them. So this is 511.
Yeah, they're different. I think that's why I did two different lots.
Yeah, because they're bigger.
Yeah.
So look at the size of those. This would be more treasure necklace. Actually, if I had these, I would save this for asymmetrical earrings, and I'd do one. I wouldn't do both of them because those are too juicy to put that many. So, like, they have a definite, like, the color is great on that. Beautiful. I'm happy that I had those.
All right, these are next.
Got
two of those and one of that.
Oh.
And then I'll scoot you some more. Here we go.
Oh, Kalite, I could sell those. I just have to figure out. I have to find the receipt.
Gotta find the receipt first.
So I have to figure out how much I paid for them. And I'm going to put them in, like, I have this face oil. It's kind of random.
Self-care kit you wanted to make, right?
Yeah, I was going to make a self-care kit. I make a really nice face oil. And I make it for myself. I don't make it for anybody but me and Azalea. And I harvest these like honeysuckles on one of my walk. I know it's so Asheville. I'm almost embarrassed.
It's cute though. All right, that one's gone. I like that
Oh
moonstone.
yeah, that's called undularia, and
Oh,
that's
that's not moonstone.
it is, but that's
Oh,
that's the
one of these
fancy name
next.
for it.
Look at those
Okay. Oh,
emeralds. I want that emerald for myself.
oh. So I was telling Azelle, she found another one of these blue. I'm going to mark these down because I've had them for a minute. All right, we'll put these at 54. We'll do that. So we just got back from Tucson, a strand of this. I got this during the time of the Rona, and I was almost crying with happiness how cheap I got these. Now, as opposed to like if you saw these now, I saw a strand, it was $1,500 and I took a picture. I was like, listen, you guys do not know what a good deal I got. So these weigh, I don't know, I have to weigh them again, but they're perfectly beautiful sapphires and they're heavy. And I've often asked Son, I said, hey man, you want to sell me just two of those? And he laughed at me. And it was funny. We both laughed together. But usually they won't sell them. You have to buy the whole thing. And it's not inexpensive to get a whole strand. It's like to get two of those, they just aren't gonna sell them to you. They want you to buy the whole thing like this. And the whole thing is like $2,000. So
That's insane.
I know. Well, they're sapphires. I mean, what do you want? That's a highfalutin.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
They are gorgeous. Make some earrings out of those. Or one on a thing of pearls, just on either side, just like that. Or a treasure necklace. I would put those. Actually, I made myself earrings and they are pretty opulent. I feel like that girl with a pearl earring when I wear them. Okay, I have some smooth opals. Let's do 20 on those. I'll mark them down a little bit. So this is $4.49. These are some smooth, really good, beautiful quality. I like the kind that have that blue sheen to them. These aren't as flashy as those ones, but that's the price. So I picked out these really like milky, beautiful ones that have a
What
lot of
lot
good
is that?
flash. They're 4.49, 4.49, and I marked it to 20. These are really beautiful, but they're smooth, so the price reflects that. They're not as much labor. So with opals, when you buy them, you're looking at the labor cost and how much flash. So they will look at it and judge. Oh, so if there's not, with these, I checked them out to make sure that I got some that have that milky quality to it, or just like old milk glass that you've probably seen, like in antique stores. So that's what that.
Oh, Carla said I got 2 sapphires from you for my daughter. I so appreciate that you do small lots.
Oh, thank you. That was I started doing that because you cannot get them. And if you want them, it's like those moon beads. When we went to the African village, I've been going for so long, and I would say to Bully, he's one of the vendors. They'd be like, Bully, just sell me one of those moon beads. So the strand is like $4,000. They're so expensive, but they're like the moon beads are like this big. They're so beautiful, and he just laughs, and and I'm like, who's gonna buy that? And he's like, someone from Architectural Digest, and I was like, okay, well. True that. Oh, so, all right.
You gotta slash it where they can see it.
Oh, I got a smile where they can see it. Okay.
Does it say 24 now?
24, sorry.
Lot 817. People like to see the action of the slashing.
All right. Lot 817. 817. I have 3 of these, and I'm surprised. Oh, I remember now because I had a bunch of them before. These are emeralds. So these come from like I think all of them come from like Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. But these are smooth. They're really pretty. They're
How many do you have?
so
3?
pretty. I have 3. I made a necklace with this, and I made earrings to go with it, and I sold them. because people like it. They have a nice, what do you call that, shimmer to it, the schiller. Emeralds don't usually have that, but these do. I looked at these under with my microscope, and they are so pretty. That veining of deep green. It's like the most perfect grass green.
I know. These are the most perfect green I've ever seen personally. I love
Azalea loves
so
these
hard.
Hessonite garnets. So she matched these up so that you have 2 of the lemon yellow, 2 or 4 of the peridot, and 2 of the root beer brown. This is the more difficult color to get. Usually you see it in like smaller because it doesn't get big. It usually grows on another stone like smoky quartz. You'll see this growing on it. It attaches itself. It's just pretty neat. I have a crystal with smoky quartz, or that's a smoky quartz that has the growth of hessonite on it. I think I have it over here. Well, maybe I do. You guys want to see something? Look at this. You guys are going to love this box. This is my favorites box. Diamonds. Blue diamonds. I'll break those up and you guys I'll split them. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, that is a whole container of things from Derek Lusk. Indeed it is. Look at all that cheddar. I guess I shouldn't brag. I'll put this away now. Because that felt kind of bragging.
Dang.
What just fell?
I don't know.
Oh, my that's kind of scale thing. All right, we're almost done with this. This is lot 725. Let's make these 26. The hessonite. We only have 2 of these lots. They're gradated out so that you can get, a couple of those colors. Azalea fixed them. 725. 26. Did you get that one, Azalea?
Yes. You got 725. That was the one.
Uh-huh. All right, now we have this. I have 2 of these. I think these are really pretty. They have this stone called green onyx, and at first I thought it was fluorite, but then I cracked one to test it, and it didn't crack the same way. So that led me to think, okay, green onyx, because it was more, this is also very smooth. Green onyx is not a super common stone, but it's kind of in that same family. They used to carve those chess pieces in the 70s and 80s. My parents have one. And what did I mark that? 703 16. Let's do that at let's do 12.
Dang.
I know, I'm feeling it.
She's feeling it.
I know. Well, I'm feeling like I need to get a car because all 3 of us sharing one car is, let's just say what it is. It's kind of a drag. It really is. Green onyx, Sheree. That's green onyx. Isn't that pretty? You have to see it with the light. It has almost a blue, I don't know how to describe it, a blue kind of hint, kind of like how, I wanted to say amber does it, but not quite. It's hard to capture that. I think they're really pretty. All right, I'm almost coming to the last of our items. So we have these 2. What is that? That looks like silver. Is that silver? Didn't get tangled up.
What you got?
Is that silver?
Yeah. I believe so. Look at the price of it.
Well, they're marked the same, so that doesn't say anything. That's silver. So this one should be... Well, I have it marked at 22, so here you go. This is a silver piece. Yeah, that looks like silver to me. If that's not silver, then I don't know what I'm talking about. That's bronze. That's silver. So this one will mark it at 18. $4.94 if you would like an iris link in cast bronze. This one would be good as, I think, like, wouldn't that be pretty?
Bracelet or a choker.
Yeah, I like that piece as a link. I have them in pewter, but it does look, the warmth is good. I only have the one, and it's 18, $4.94. This one, this is silver, and I marked it at 22. It's $6.53. If anyone wants that, that's a good one. That's a very good price for that because it actually weighs a good amount. So that was just priced incorrectly, but that's a good thing for whoever gets it. This is a lily, water lily. And by water lily, I mean lotus. Okay, so the showstopper tonight, one of my all-time favorite things that I've gotten are, look at all this cheddar right here. These are sapphires, or corundum as they are called. And the reason is because it's all the same stone, it's just different colors. So rubies, sapphires, this is yellow sapphire. There was not as many on that strand. For some reason, yellow sapphires, doesn't seem like there's that much of it. But anyway, this is...
Oh, that's our showstopper?
Mm-hmm. That's our last one of the evening. $8.97, $40 for this. This is some really pretty, really juicy and soft looking sapphires. These are fun because they have a real soft look, real soft, real pretty, real good color. They're not dyed or treated or anything. Kind of a cloudy soft. And we tried to ration out so that everybody got some of those gold ones because they're really kind of an unusual one. There weren't as many on there, but I think most people want the pink and blue ones anyhow, so that works out. So that is $8.97, $40. If you are watching on replay and you would like some, go ahead and email right up here, greengirlstudios@yahoo.com, and I'll let you know if we have any. So this is $8.97. Let's look at the other ones.
Wow,
oh yeah, you hear that wind? I hope a tree doesn't fall. We had a tree fall. It was a tulip tree, broke off, and it fell and barely missed the car by like 2 feet. I have a 66 Mustang. I can't drive it because it's not running right now, which is why we have like one vehicle to drive. But it almost hit that car. So anyway, this is that. Isn't that so gorgeous? Oh yeah, they are kind of like Easter eggs. They're really beautiful. I love them. All right, thank y'all. This was, all right, so this is $8.97. If you're watching on replay, let me know. It seems like I have a few of those left.
You have, well, you have
3?
one left now.
Oh. Yeah, those are good. I love them. I would put these, because these are, look at the thickness of that they're strung on. Just a little side note that a lot of times when you're looking at gemstones, you can't really see how they're drilled. And so sometimes if you get them and they are really small, the hole is super duper small, then you have to go in and you have to ream them out, and that's a lot of work. So sometimes the price will be really, really low on something. Not usually on something like this, because the quality of these are not going to be, you're not going to have people drilling them out really well if they're kind of junky quality. That's just kind of how that goes. But sapphires are hard to drill. I've wasted like 2 diamond bits drilling a bead.
A few of the strands are strung on hefty soft legs.
I know, it's the thickest one. Let's look at that. That's a medium size.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they are kind of, they have a good... All right, I'm going to flip this.
Oh, yeah, we got to show them. They like to
Oh, yeah, before you do it, show that, Azalea, before we do it. Get in there.
All right, y'all, get ready in here. All right, here are the people. Hope you can read my handwriting. Here's the first quadrant. If there's a change to be made, just email us, or you can comment it and I can fix it right now. If you say you don't want something, then I can just cross it out.
Just a reminder, some of these, like our invoices, will last, I think, about 5 days.
All right,
so
that should be a long enough look.
Mm-hmm. Yippee! So if you don't see an invoice and you saw your name and you're not seeing it, reach out, because sometimes like things get sent to the wrong place. Like if you have, or like there's a flaw in the way that
was the rain.
all right, maybe I'm gonna show. All right, move this out of the way. All right, friends, thank y'all for showing up and hanging out with us on this Sunday evening. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a demo on how to use a ring in jewelry making. Let me see if I can find that thing. I guess I set it down somewhere else. Where did it go? Anyway, I showed how to do that new cast lunar ring using seed beads and chain. So I'd love to see if you try that technique out. Go ahead and post a picture in the Greengirlstudios gang group. It would be really cool to see what y'all make. And if you use that technique, be sure and you can also tag us on Instagram with hashtag Greengirlstudios. All right, friends. So we will be seeing you next week. And we hope, we are trying to we're hoping to have another session on Wednesday. We will send you an email. So if you're wondering, the Sunday night is, we always do a Sunday night, but a Wednesday night is like a special treat. Am I right? Special treat.
Special treat.
Because sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with content, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of hard. All right, friends. I hope you have an amazing week. We will see you next Sunday.
Good night.